So now that I've pulled my car up into the back, I am going to show you how to remove the 87mm throttle body, that is OEM throttle body, that is on the LT1 motor that is in the 6th-gen Camaro. So, as with any job you do in the automotive world, or any project you do in general, you need to preliminarily gather all of the necessary tools to complete the job. Now, for this particular instance, we need two things. We need a ratchet wrench like this one, which is a lot easier to maneuver in the tight spaces of the 6th-gen Camaro SS engine bay, because you can see it's very tight. And you will need a 10mm socket or something that is slightly larger than 3/8. Now, for this particular socket and wrench, this is a 3/8 drive, so in this case you're going to need a 3/8 drive, 10mm socket, or slightly larger than 3/8 socket. In this case as well, I'm going to be using an extension because it just makes life easier. And you see, just put that on now. You also need a power tool, power drill like this one with a Phillips head, or actually you need a flathead screwdriver attachment, because you're going to have to remove this air box in order to effectively get the throttle body off. Removing it is also very easy, don't worry. You need this actually to take this off anyway, the air tube, and there is a binding point right here that you need to unscrew. So in order to remove the air box, the first thing you have to do is remove the mass airflow sensor, which you can see is right here. And in order to give you guys a better view of how this thing is attached, I'm going to demount from the tripod and bring you guys along with me for the ride. So, as you can see, the mass airflow sensor is right at the bottleneck of the airbox, and this is standard on pretty much all LT1 stock motors. This includes the 6th-gen Camaro and also the C7 Corvette, because they use the exact same motor, as you know. So, in order to dislodge this, you're gonna have to do two things actually. Number one, you're gonna have to decouple this plastic bit right here. You can use anything. I know I need to I need to change this for a flathead, since that's what this uses right here. But for now, we're gonna just dislodge it with this coupling right here. That's actually not gonna work. Okay, hold on. And the actual bits that I need to use, I am going to be using a proper flathead to get this off. Okay, there we go. That should do it actually. Just clasped it back in. Clasped it back in. There we go. Should just come off. I'm having a little bit of a harder time than I anticipated with this, but it's okay. There we go. There we go. So now that coupling is off, that's actually a lot easier than what I made it out to be, as I'm holding it with one hand, the camera with one hand. But next thing you want to do is finally dismount the mass airflow sensor, the main thing right here. Now, Chevy, for whatever reason, decided that it was a good idea to make this a little more complicated than it needs to be, because you can't really see it here, but there's a tab underneath the MAF sensor. It's somewhere behind here. You can kind of hear it, but it's right there. What you want to do is you want to pull up on that here, pull up on it, and then when you pull up on the tab, you just want to lift it. Sometimes it cooperates, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm going to push down and then lift up like that. So yeah, it's a little tricky, but it gets the job done. So once more, put it back in. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm taking off the first time. Pull up on the tab in the back. Jeez, this is so hard with one hand. Okay, there we go. Then you push down, and you push down. Oh, jeez. Push down. Oh my gosh. Push down, lift up. There we go. Okay. Okay, so next you want to dismount the airbox, which is secured on the left side of the engine bay, the driver's side, through three rubber grommets here, here, and here behind you. You can't really see it, but all you want to do is simply, I've already done it, as you can tell, but to illustrate actually how it comes off, let's secure it back again. Let's show you again. But basically, you just lift up. Voila, there you go. Then, of course, you want to detach the sound tube, which is curiously attached to the plastic of the airbox. Don't know why, but it is. So after you've done that, then you want to go over to the positive crankcase ventilation tube right here and simply push on the tab in the front and lift up. And there you go. Now that that's out of the way, and the mass airflow sensor is out of the way, we also have to detach this, and I will do that right now. Actually, give me 1 second. So all you have to do is simply take some pliers and take the clip that's right here and simply press and remove. Easy, super easy. Now your air tube, which is connected to the airbox and also the front of the throttle body, is now free to move. So second thing you need to do is, well, not second, but the next thing you need to do is take your power tool and make sure it's in reverse, obviously, and unscrew it where the binding is. Take it off. Oops, it's a little more loosening. And there we go. Now your airbox is completely off. So all we have to do now is take it remove it, and place it just out of the way. So I'm going to place it right here next to me. And as you can see, the throttle body is pointed downward, so you can't really see like how dirty it is. It's rather dirty. I haven't. Last time I cleaned the last time I cleaned the intake was about 25,000 miles ago. So I'm due for that anyway. But let's go ahead and attach the throttle body. Okay, so very important before you attempt to remove your throttle body is you have to be mindful of this connection right here. I believe this is the connection that sends power to the throttle body to the actuator right here to open and close. This thing right here actually has a gray tab in the back, like a sort of a T-shaped tab in the back that is very, very brittle and will break and crumble on you with even the slightest bit of pressure. It's not a huge deal because this still does stick, you know, relatively. It is fit relatively snugly in here, but just to be mindful of. I will give you pictures of that a little bit later. But for me, all I have to do is just take it off. It just slides it off. But in your situation, you will have a tab that you have to pull up on, push down, and then lift up like that. A lot like the mass airflow sensor that you have here, but way more involved. So now that we've got that off, let's go ahead and take off the 5-bolt or 4-bolt. All right, got the air hose attached. First, and I have some marks here, some black marks here from a black paint marker that I've placed in certain spots. That is just my mark to show me where to put the throttle body screws back on, at what point and what torque point. It's not an exact science, I know. It's not really the best thing to do, but it's better than just blindly, you know, just wrenching on something without actually knowing the torque specs, you know? Okay. All 4 bolts are off, and we got a throttle body. Yay! But as you can see, it's quite dirty. We're gonna have to clean it. Well, actually, it's not as dirty as it could be, but it's still dirty as far as I'm concerned. All right, so same steps, but just in reverse. Throttle body goes on. Positive crankcase ventilation goes back on the air tube. We'll put the air box back on, and that's it. Super simple bolt on. Do it. Okay, so there we go. That is all there is to it. I kind of almost forgot to plug in the power to go to the actuator, but well, the sensor right there that goes into the actuator. But yeah, everything's complete. Everything's nice and snug. Airbox is snug. Mass airflow sensor snug. Positive crankcase ventilation is snug. Even though that's a little loose, I don't really like that. But second air tube this tube is snug. And yeah, now all it's time to do is start everything up.